events, Jack. But until then, you're stuck behind the desk with me. We're going to watch actual professional players play the game how they want to play it.
Well, let's go, my friend. I love you, man. Saf, off the break. He's going to go ahead and claim the chest right in the middle of the water here and look for any bit of materials he can get. And one of my favorite items to get right away in a match is the epic or legendary rarity pump shotgun. For me, it's like when I have that tool at my disposal, I just know whatever encounter I get in, that can be used to flip any bad scenario into something that's winnable, right? One good shot can save a game with that pump shotgun.
Well, when Fortnite decides to add an epic level pizza to the game, I'll have to ask you what your go-to first item is.
Pepperoni.
See if it changes. But until then, Marksman, Vivid, a 1v1 we've seen that feels like every single game. We're going to see how things play out this time around up here in Junk Junction. There's still a sniper rifle back there on top of one of the junk piles. Let's see if somebody goes for that. Marksman rocking a pair of common ARs, 7 minis. Looks like he popped the slurp, so he's going to be topped off here in just a second.
And him and Vivid have had so many battles here today. Each of them has taken the other down at some point, but here's the big difference in this fight. Vivid, 0 shields. Marksman sitting pretty at almost 200 health. He's got a major advantage for this one. Could come back to bite Vivid. Again, someone in our top 5 looking to potentially dethrone Saf.
Would not surprise me if he went in big on this one. You see the arsenal there. A heavy sniper rifle this early in the game means very aggressive pushes that's possible. Regardless of the surfaces that Marksman may put up, that thing's going to go through no matter what, which means a push is available for him, but it looks like he might be backing out here. I feel like if Vivid is paying very close attention and really thinking on his feet here, a 0 shield push, probably not the best idea, but he is going to try and gather up as much material as possible just in case maybe Marksman makes a move on him.
Vivid just continuing to bounce around. Not wanting to get too involved. Remember, Vivid in our top 10, another player in our top 10, Kaizui. We'll take a look at how things are starting off for him in this game. It seems like he was in an early fight. Uh-oh, man, down to just 57 HP.
He wants Rowe the quick edit, and he does get caught off guard. Rowe takes our 4th place player, Kaizui, out of the final match. I hate to see it. Vivid still down here. Up here, technically Junk Junction does have a player rotating into who is southwest that he probably has no idea exists just yet. And we have a minute left until this first circle closes.
Nate Hill taking on Dementos. Nate tries to fight for the high ground, down to just 3 HP, and this just looks like an unwinnable situation. What can he do to try to reclaim this one? No shot. Nate goes down. Kind of a quiet tournament from Nate, if I'm being completely honest. And now look at Dementos' inventory. My goodness. The legendary assault rifle. You've got the epic rarity pump shotgun. Yeah, it's only a gray SMG, but for the most part, a ton of shields, 200 health, and already 800 materials. Dementos sitting pretty in Fatal Fields.
With 7.4 coming back, Jack, the clingers have been re-added. The game grenades are gone, and I'd like to take a look real quick here. Jay Cuddy with those clingers. He's sitting on 6.
Stop.
And 1, 2,
Stop.
Ziff goes to sleep.
Stop.
A back-to-back clinger. As Jay Cuddy gets a 50 HP push there.
He had 50 health with the 200 of Ziff. That ain't right.
200's not enough to save you from 2 clingers, my friend.
Someone call up the Giants. We found their new QB. As we'll go ahead and see McDonald now. A little bit over 100 health. And it's almost funny. You see him just kind of tag these builds, but remember, with the added harvesting rate, hey, 1 wall can make the difference here. If you're just idly running around, sure. Give a little smack, get a couple extra materials. You never know what difference it can make in a fight.
We did see actually McDonald earlier in a previous match get stuck in a crate by 72 hours with literally no weapon. I made that shooting fish in a barrel joke. It was absolutely awful, but it was true in the moment. It's good to see him rocking at least a small arsenal here. Jamok rotating away at only 46 total HP. 36 builds possible, and he does have quite a few weapons. I don't think double pump works anymore, Jamok, but he does have that green as a backup in case he runs out of ammo in the blue.
Over to Aiden, just outside Salty Springs. You notice he's kind of playing passively because guess what? There's 3 players in this one building. Many people call this grandmas. As Aiden's just sitting still, listening to the movement going on around him. It's Ronan now pushing towards the high ground. Dopai there as well. Ronan with the slurp ticking. More than happy to just let this roll, not needing to get in any engagement. Wants this slurp to get as much use out of it as possible before he goes and fights an opponent in there.
Gonna say with only 3 builds to his name, rotating away at this point, regardless of the shield and HP advantage. Obviously, he doesn't know, but just making a move for more materials probably the best call in this situation. You do not have to get aggressive for eliminations early, and with like right here, Dobai with a pyramid edit, he's able to watch out just in case he wants to see if somebody's pushing in. He's gonna reset this pyramid on the way down, knock the floor out.
So
he's dealt 95 damage.
One thing to point out, Aiden, here's the thing, Aiden has not moved. Aiden is literally not moving. So Dobai might not realize that Aiden is still in this building just above him. Look at Aiden. Yes, he's spinning around, but he's not making any footstep noise. Dobai could walk right on up here, and Aiden can catch him off guard with one clean pump shot. I think he's going for it. There it is. The pump comes in. Dobai now panic building. Aiden's plan has worked to perfection. You can tell he's used this so many times in Tilted Towers. Now bringing the strategy over to Grandma's just outside Salty. Dobai caught in a bathroom. That's not a fun spot to be in as he is just trying to stay alive. Aiden putting the pressure on. You gotta think the end's near, Lupo.
Right now, Aiden just looking for any opportunity, going for potentially a wall replace. I have a feeling Aiden's trying to burn out any materials Dobai may have left at this point, but Aiden sitting on only 6 small rounds, and that's almost all he's got left.
And
the push out from Dobai.
That was Dopai's last build.
Is.
That was Dopai's last build. That's why he did that. He had no other option but to bring the fight to him. Sorry to cut you off there, Ben. I was trying to make sure I got that the info our director gave to us just as that went on. That's why he made that decision to just go for it in the final moment.
Just a little bit of ammunition left, but Aiden comes out on top. A single Elim, 32 builds now. 78 HP remaining. We'll have to see if he finds a bead on Ronan here in a second. He does see him pop out just around the tree. The build begins, and Aiden's playing a little defensively here. He doesn't want to give Ronan an opportunity to get up above. Push down, you see him backing down the ramp, just waiting, biding his time. Slight aggression, just the right time. The opportunity he needs to push on Ronan, and he's going for it. The pyramid to block, and he rotates on the outside to jump out as a defensive mechanism in case Ronan tries to pyramid the ramp up on his own, and Aiden drops down. 102 to the back, and he might have Ronan on the ropes here. Gets pyramided his own, tries to go for the edit on his own ramp, and barely misses it.
He's got no builds.
Ronan's on top at this point. We'll have to see if Aiden sneak his way out, make it away, and go for a reset here. Or is Aiden going to keep applying pressure? 28 HP, it would be very, very aggressive of him, but we've seen it in the past. We've seen it a number of times. The shot, he just barely misses it. Aiden's still alive. Neither player taking any damage from that engagement. Reset after reset, Jack, and Ronan's still on top. You see him taking just a moment, popping that full shield. He's going for the long one, and he gets it off. 75 shield, 97 HP. He's sitting in an absolutely dominant position. 8 builds, though. It might not be enough, but Aiden is completely out. He's got to rotate, gets caught off guard by Ronan from above.
When you run out of materials, Fortnite gets a little bit tougher. Just a little bit tougher.
The game changes almost completely.
It's literally just, it's at that point, it's like, it just, every time you see it, it just proves how much Fortnite is a building game over a pure just, you know, being able to shoot game. Swapping over to Takada just outside Chimney. Quick edits as he's looking to get very aggressive off the break. And Ben, when we talk about gameplays changing just a little bit now, you're seeing a little bit more aggression out of some of these players who are trying to climb up these ranks. Not only do some of these guys now need, you know, a very high placing or a victory royale, but they need those eliminations to move towards big bonus.
Imagine being in such a point deficit and suddenly having an absolute pop-off game, dropping 8, 9, 10 elims, those bonus points coming in big. That could be an absolutely massive shift for literally any player. Any of the 100 players here could find themselves very high on the leaderboard with even just one good game, and this is the last one. If you're waiting for just the right time, I think now's the time.
Now it is. Now is the time. What's interesting about this next zone, Viking Village, as many people call it, is in the direct center and is the absolute high ground. Takada farming as many materials as possible. Once had only 15 builds, now up to 28. You see on the bottom right of your screen, Tfue actually already up there, but it's very small, I know, on that mini-map, but look at how many players have already claimed that top Viking area to try to hold there for the rest of this match.
In the middle of that fight, Takada, while he's taking shots, you saw him kind of jumping and flicking backwards to see if there was anyone behind him that was going to take a shot. He knew he was in a pinch situation, especially because just by taking shots, even that one right there, he does kind of signal to everybody around that he's, you know, he's out here. He's ready to take some shots, but he's going to get shot at himself. Takata now stuck in the storm. The siren, any shield he can pop off here. The last second, he's going to try and go for it. The quick double edit. He owns as much of this material as he possibly can. He's going to jump behind Takata, try and get the shots as Takata's rotating away. That tack shotgun's going to be key here. It might only be Gray, but he can get the job done, and it doesn't, Jack. It doesn't.
Doesn't get it done there. Takata able to earn that elimination. Still over 170 HP with the zone. Ticking for one right now. 3 campfires, though, Lupo. Shouldn't be too big of a deal with this damage he's taken.
On top of that, he's got the mobility of the redeploy. He's got a launch pad. He might be deep outside the zone, Jack, but he's got the ability to move in, and he can keep himself alive with ease. He just has to worry about getting gatekeeped on the way in. We'll have to see if that happens or not. Meanwhile, Snobby Shores, maybe one of the less visited POIs during this event here at Secret Skirmish, but right now, Fulmer, 2 eliminations to his name already. A number of players still out here with him. To see how many of these surfaces he's about to take ownership of. You see a lot of players knocking these down as low as possible, sometimes even finishing them and replacing quickly, just because ownership of even one surface can mean the difference between a player pushing in on you inside a house and you keeping them at bay.
Electing to hold on to some of these explosives over picking up the likes of the hand cannon, but now sees a suppressed sniper and decides, hey, this is a tool I want to have to maybe catch a player off guard with a quick headshot.
See if he can catch Vivid on rotation here.
Okay, he's boxed up.
All right, here at the edge of the zone. Fulmer, the dynamite, going for a big throw here. Knocks his own structure down, but it's not a big deal. Builds back up quickly. Sees that Vivid is going to rotate in. Build that little box on the right side of your screen there. Curious if he knows if Tom is on the inside of this building. He's got to hear him at this point. The jump and the sprint around in the bottom floor. Fulmer, an opportunity. If he picks up this elimination, Jack, that's 3. That would make his first point for this game.
Yep.
It's the last game. Might be time to go for those points, my friend.
He is right on the edge of the zone. Devious now just above. What he doesn't know is how weak Devious is. So he's going to be getting pushed forward. He's going to put him off guard. Devious not hearing the footsteps. Beautifully played by Fulmer. And Ben, you mentioned it. That will now put Fulmer at 3 limbs. 1 more point earned.
Going to swap that suppressed sniper out for a heavy. The ability to knock down any given wall at any time is absolutely massive. Take advantage of that. We saw in the duos a number of times yesterday. The heavy snipe into Rocket is a big combo for these players.
Jay Young. 128 builds now, too. Near max materials.
The rift all the way in the back as rotations are going to start. Fulmer's going to go for the high ground. That quick edit and reset on the pyramids during a climb. Very, very important to take note of that because it is a double layer on the floor below or above. On top of that, they switch it to a ramp to get some elevation, then reset it back. It's so clean. The ability to rotate in, move, or gain elevation so quickly like that. Key strat to take note of.
Still just sitting up top. Tom in the building, Kuros and Dementos in a fight. Kuros very, very good. It's a great shot that Dementos did with it. Okay, I was going to say, geez, he was down to, what, 7 health when he got that a limb. Kuros nearly made that happen.
I don't know if you watched that, but the build count literally flying from almost nothing to full. He was at 150 as it ended, which is the cap right now.
And there's so many more mats left. See, what I want to see here is him begin to build towards this next zone, tunnel on out, then come back for the materials that are there. I think that's what he's going to do once he heals on up. But that's what, again, separates the differences in these players in these lower material modes. Well, now I should say, with lower materials now across Fortnite, right? It's no longer a mode with lower materials. Now everyone's playing on it.
Those pop-up cup rules are all over the place.
You'd love to see it.
Saf, your current leader, sitting all the way up top, and we're 50 players eliminated at this point, halfway through.
Saf is still here. I mean, brilliant, brilliant performance from him this weekend, no matter what happens. Definitely, if you pick an MVP, you got to think it's him. For what we've seen up to this point, both players wind up taking this rift, Vivid and Fulmer. And you know what? If I'm Fulmer, I'm more than happy with this, right? I get a free rotation, didn't use one of mine, and I get to avoid fighting one of the best players in the world in Vivid.
See where they land here. At this point, landing on top of another player's structure might be one of the only options. Fulmer's going right next to Sofa. He's going to build up the tree, causing a little bit of trouble.
I think he regrets landing in this tree. Look, you can it's just awkward. The trees are just awkward to build in and fight around. He's going to break that down right away.
That's free materials at least, but yeah, it really makes things tough. You can even get caught off guard just by a strange angle. Somebody could hit a shot through between some branches. Building is very difficult. Lana, Sheep, Punisher, Sofa, and Fulmer all on your screen here. 49 players remaining as this circle is getting ready to finish closing. It's got 36 seconds left, and what that means is the next circle is when things start to move. Players are going to be forced to rotate no matter what, and I think a little bit of chaos is going to cut loose, Jack.
Chaos will most certainly cut loose. We're at the halfway point. Let's check in with our pal Sundown.
Thank you so much, Courage and Lupa. We're going to catch 6 elims that we might have missed here. We're starting off with Schmeck versus Overpeak. Overpeak low. Schmeck recognizing that at the 177 HP. Dives in, and actually a really good trade from Overpeak, but not enough. Paytech versus Thwifo, 2 of the young gods. Paytech makes sure he lands the boogie bomb, and he's following up. He sees Thwifo dancing, boxes him in, drops her on the side, edit. Right as it runs out, he puts the pressure down, but he owned the wall. Thwifo, nothing to do, and he throws a little default dance in there too. You talked about it, how it's last game. Postek here has a beat on him, but sometimes those nerves get to you. Those Rift to goes down there, he's going to try and fall down to one, but you have to be conscious. You only had 13 HP. You can't fall that far. Just misses the Rift. Now into the battle of Tilted. Triggy able to get some good shots on Slaving. Slaving tries to rotate away from Deuces, but he's going to get picked off. Triggy then recognizing that's there. Deuces gets gifted a little bit of loot. They're both trying to close it out, but Deuces is going to make immediate use of that blue pump that he picks up. Going to drop down, edit the 150 shot, and he follows it back up with another 150 shot. Really well played from him. Now we're going to check out Cease, the only one earning a point. Places the ramp, and then the edit. That was so clean, setting up 1 point going into late game. Has to be happy with that, but now let's get back to the chaos.
Brilliant Sundown. One of my favorite additions of the Secret Skirmish has been the mid-game updates to catch on some of those moments we may have missed. That's the last one for this weekend. Props to all of our great analysts. It's been an honor working with you guys on those segments, but now back in the game. 43 players remaining. One of these half in, half out zones where it gets real hectic. Lupo has kicked in, and you can hear the rifts going off in the background.
Everybody's got to move to the southeast side of the map. 30 seconds until this finishes closing. We have 42 players remaining. Fulmer sitting on 4 eliminations. A 5th would mean another point for him. Trying to push as close as he can to that top 10. Trying to earn points there as well. Takes a little bit of damage. Rowe also at 4 elims. Cease and Deuce is both sitting on 3, so there's a collection of points going out for our players right now. But Fulmer just above an opponent underneath. Meanwhile, Rowe, mentioned moments ago, the only other player at 4 elims, looking down from above, seeing if he has any third-party opportunities, catch anybody rotating. But he only has 41 rounds left, Jack. If he sees a chance to take a shot, it is not going to be one that is a toss-up. He's not going for anything lucky, my friend. He's going for a guarantee.
Yep.
Now, on top of that, he doesn't really have to worry about an up-close push. His swap weapon, that green suppress SMG, he has plenty of ammunition there. He's sitting on 300-plus rounds. That's not a big concern. It's the long-range game that's going to be a problem for him at this point. It looks like he's just going to bide his time. He's got that edit open on the pyramid, and he pushes out during this rotation. The Storm starting to apply pressure. We'll see if Cloak, up to his top left, takes a shot. He doesn't, but that rotation is going to have to happen there. And Rowe actually might be waiting to bait Cloak out, catch him on the rotation himself.
He's saving a ton of materials right now. Gets in another fight. This could be for another point right now for Rowe. Gets the high ground for the moment. Drops on down, whiffs the shot, whiffs again. Oh, these edits, no! That is heartbreak. That is heartbreak, and you see the reaction. That's one where I think we just saw a little bit of the nerves in the main stage kick in, Lupo.
A couple missed edits and a whiff shotgun shot cost him the game. Deuce is here, 3 eliminations. Fulmer now creeping up to 5 of his own. That's a 2nd point. Trying to make his way to the top of the leaderboard that you see in your bottom right there. Fulmer, your current elim leader for this final game, but he's out of builds. 90 HP, 17 shield, and he's getting lasered from his front left up above 41. He's going to have to knock the wall out. He might not be fast enough to get past the Storm. He is 11 HP. The jump shot, 104. The opponent's still alive inside the box, and they edit down, and he gets him. Fulmer goes down to Germ.
Tough moment there. 12 players left, 11 players left. You see just how weak Linane is on the left side. Germ turns and burns onto him. Top 10 now, top 8 as players are dropping like flies. You see the zone continuing to shift. Now over to Germ, just barely misses that heavy sniper shot. These are the final moments of the secret skirmish as Daxor takes down Germ. No surprise here, Bizzle in a wonderful position to potentially take this game. Not many materials left. 3 of them so far. A quick little tag on the player above. No materials. He's got to drop on down. He's looking for the way to take as little fall damage as possible. He's made it to the low ground. He's skating around. Shot comes in. A limb for Bizzle. Turns on the player above. That's it! He deagled the floor! He hand cannoned the floor!
Are you
and the
kidding
player
me?
drops! Bizzle with the victory! I think he's saying 2 victories in the